that you have is typically your family, right? So take care of them as well. So don't be looking outside yet. Don't be looking for government help and handouts and all those other things. Look at yourself first, and then look at your family, making sure that you're stocking up and not stockpiling. Again, if you're stockpiling, you fall into the probably, and I get it, I understand there are some people that are very, very fearful, and they are definitely stockpiling without any thought of what about our vulnerable populations. And that is very, very normal. But like I said, that's actually the exception. Most people will come together, and I've seen it hundreds and hundreds of times. So take personal responsibility as you, the individual. Take care of your own family. Take care of your own team. Now, maybe it's just reinforcing positive behaviors, right? Maybe it's just enforcing hygiene, enforcing washing the hands. It doesn't have to be incredibly difficult. And something that I've done in my own life, in my own situation, is my mom has dementia, and my dad is elderly as well. And so obviously they have some challenges, and they would be by any definition vulnerable, and they live at home. So understanding that it's up to us, the able and willing individuals in my parents' lives, so my brother and I, we are coordinating our efforts and ensuring that we are taking care of my mom and dad. We're not expecting anybody to come in and help them through COVID-19. Now, there's some other healthcare, home care issues that have been going on for a very, very long time, but relative to COVID-19, it's on my brother and I. So I've taken personal responsibility. I'm taking care of my son, who's 12, Hunter. I'm taking care of my parents. And I'm not saying that to be heroic or anything like that. It all comes down to taking personal responsibility and making sure that the people in your life have what they need. In my experience, broadly speaking, there are victors in life, and there are victims. And the victims are the ones that will never succeed in crisis, to be honest. They'll never learn how to lead in crisis. They'll never learn how to function in crisis, because it is always a blame game. It's always a woe is me. It's always looking outside at external factors. That is not what will get you through COVID-19 or any other crisis. The blame game, the fear mongering, the negativity, that gets you absolutely nowhere. That's the victim game, and victims stay victims. On this hand, though, we have what we call victors. And these are the individuals that exercise healthy doses of personal responsibility. They are the ones that say, you know what, this sucks. It's shitty. Well, and honestly, do you think I like being encouraged to stay home? Do you think I love the fact that my son is now at home versus school every day? Well, I don't love that, but it is what it is. And so taking personal responsibility says, all right, I'm going to be a victor out of this. What can I do to make this situation better? What can I do to use this potential danger as an opportunity? That's what victors do. That's what leaders do. That's what gets us through crisis. And if we have enough people doing this and acting responsibly, then society in general, whether it be at a local level, like a community, growing to your municipality, to state or province, to country, to globally, if we had everybody that was in the victor category, that was taking responsibility and doing the things that they need to do without being told, then we will all be better off, and we will all get through this. Now, I've seen it and I've already seen it. An example would be like the school board, for example, at least in my area, canceled classes or live classes or in-school classes. And newsflash, I think my son's going to be pretty upset when he realizes it's actually not canceling school till the end of the year, but that's just our little secret. But so I read on social media, because that's where, all of the great meeting of the minds is. Just kidding. And somebody said, wow. And so today, as we record this is Monday. Right. Yeah. So the announcement was yesterday, Sunday, a weekend. So sure enough, somebody goes on to Facebook and says, wow, why couldn't they have told, or it would have been nice if they would have told us this on Friday. So at least we'd have all weekend to prepare. Well, newsflash, These situations evolve rapidly. And do you think that people in government, people in decision-making areas are sitting back saying, you know what? How can we screw people over as much as possible in this? Okay, that's our objective. It's to actually screw people over and make life as difficult as possible. Yeah, that's our objective today. So let's make sure we accomplish that. I'm here to tell you, as an individual that has been in those discussions, I promise you, the last thing anybody wants to do is cause more disruption than they have to. So when you hear about states of local emergency and now, eventually curfews and just all of the things that go along with states of emergency and pandemic, those aren't decisions that are taken lightly. So quit blaming other people, quit being a keyboard warrior, right? Getting on Facebook and talking about how bad the world is, and be part of the solution and not part of the problem. And part of that solution, like I said, really comes down to taking responsibility on a personal level to get through this. And as I keep saying, if we all do that, then we're going to get through this thing. And as a leader, walk the walk, lead by a very good example. Wash your hands, hand sanitizer, self-isolate, all of those COVID-19 related things. But more so than that, be a good person, be compassionate, be empathetic. I've talked about that previously. Be vulnerable and be responsible for your own actions. You alone are responsible for the outcome in your life, really, if you want to get even deeper on it. So I wanted to really stress on that. And also too, I'm going to be talking about this in future episodes. But social media, I've watched with great interest with regard to the social media impact on, in this particular case, COVID-19 and how it has evolved. And I really hope that we see social media and use social media as a good tool to enable people to gather help and send it where it needs to go. I want to use it to spread positivity and optimism and create empowerment rather than a victim mentality. So be very, very mindful of that. And frankly, if didn't your mom say, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all? I actually will take that a little bit further. If you don't have anything nice, positive, and all you have is negativity and fear, don't say anything. Keep it to yourself. Because frankly, we all have to be positive. We all have to be responsible. And as I said, that's what will get us through this thing. So as a leader, your responsibility is you, your family, your team, and it grows outwards. And if we're all doing that, then we are all going to be better off.